Namaste. Thank you for joining me on the mat today. For this practice, you will want 2 blocks. Go ahead and grab whatever you need and meet me in a comfortable seat. Placing one hand on your heart, one on your solar plexus, found right below your ribs on your belly. Take a few rounds of breath here just to arrive. Letting the head and the heart catch up to the body here on the mat. Devoting this time here just to move and breathe and to feel the sense of power that you hold within. Take a big side stretch. Reach one hand up. And take it to the other side. Breathe it in. Inhale to center. Fingertips come behind you. Lift up through the chest. Full inhale. And exhale, return. Begin to make your way onto hands and knees. Using your blocks, take your blocks underneath your hands. We're going to try to use the blocks throughout the entire practice today. Come onto your elbows. Let the hips shift back to the heels. Maybe allowing the heart to melt. Bring the palms together behind your head. You might find that you need to adjust here. Adjust if you need. Take a couple of breaths here. Fully inhale through your nose. And exhale, let it go. Last breath here, really grounding in. Begin to release the elbows long, reach the hands out, and then come up onto your hands. Coming into table with your hands lifted on blocks, and you can choose any height that feels most fitting for you, depending on how much space you would like. Grounding down through your palms, just waking up the wrists here, maybe turning the hands back and forth, flipping one palm to the sky, and switching, taking the other one. Come on back. Finding yourself ready to move through some cat and cow. Inhale to drop the belly. Exhale to tuck and round. Again, inhale, lift the crown and the tail. Exhale to round. Just a few more here. Maybe even closing your eyes, inviting any organic movement in. Just focus on how much new space that you might have here with the blocks underneath your hands. A couple of C curves of the spine. Look behind, past one shoulder toward the toes, and switch to the other side. Tuck the toes, rock the hips back to the heels. And shift the height of your blocks. As you come into sitting on your heels, you can use your hands to help take some of the, use your blocks to take some pressure off of your toes. Just try to find a moment here of peace, even if it feels intense. If it feels nice, bring the hands to heart. Exhale to release, hands down to the blocks, take them forward again. Round that right knee toward your chest. And take it over to the left. Tuck the toes under, hips move up and back. Coming into a downward facing dog. Walk it out. Feel the potential of your heels rooting down here. Bend into the knees and then start to walk the feet toward the hands. Flat back on your inhale, hands stay on your blocks. Exhale, fold it in. Inhale for length. And exhale and fold. Last one to lift up. Exhale to fold. And come all the way up. Keep one block now, take it into your hands and the other one between your thighs. Squeeze the block between your thighs and draw the block between your hands up overhead, sitting down into chair pose. Lengthen the tailbone down. Make sure you can look down and still see your toes. Breathe steady here. Lower the hands to the heart. Inhale, press them up. Slowly come to stand, hands come to the heart. And squeeze the block as you take it up overhead. A couple of side bends. Returning down to the floor. Let go of both blocks. Find a flat back. Breathe in. As you exhale, round the right knee toward your nose, round into the upper back. Long spine, and send the right foot back behind you. You might come up into a different height on your blocks here. Just find as much space as you can, long in the waist. Reach out through the heel. Maybe even taking one hand behind your hips to make sure they're still level. Breathe in and exhale to round the knee toward the nose. Inhale for length. Exhale to round. One more just like that. Return the right foot to the earth, flat back on your inhale. Sink the hips down all the way to your heels, coming into a little toe stand. Hands can stay on your blocks for balance. Steady with your breath. And send the hips high, folding in. Returning to your flat back here, we'll switch it to the other side. Hug the left knee in toward your chest, round into the upper back, press into the blocks. Inhale for length. Again, finding that stable, neutral pelvis. And then with your inhale, find more length. And exhale to tuck and round. Inhale, reach long. Exhale, round. Inhale and exhale. Returning your foot to the floor. Sink the hips down again for your toe stand. Round the nose toward the knees. Find a sense of steadiness and ease here. Maybe reaching one hand out, biceps up by the ears, so your arms become parallel to the floor. Maybe you take one at a time, maybe both. And as you're ready, release. Switching the height of your blocks. Maybe coming down as low as you can. Keep your hands on your blocks and step your left foot back, right foot back, and lower down to chaturanga. Lower the knees, open through the heart, coming into a supported plank, lowering one knee at a time. Maybe you lower and add some chaturanga push-ups here just for extra power. You can do this with both knees down, one knee down at a time, no knees down. Eventually sending the hips up and back for downward facing dog. On your next inhale, sweep the right leg high. Press into both palms, reach out through the heel, and exhale, shift forward, knee to nose. Inhale, sweep the right leg high. Exhale, curl it in. One last inhale for length. Exhale, curl it in. Shift your gaze down between the blocks, and as slowly as you can, try to plant that right foot to the earth. Lower the left knee. Come up into a little twist here. So your left knee stays down, right hand reaches up. Really using that block at any height that feels most appropriate to you, like it's going to give you the most length. Option to lift the back knee. Steady inhale. And as you exhale, let the bicep come up by the ear, getting one long line of energy. Back heel to the fingertips, and then round it down. Bring the left knee to the mat. Step the right foot all the way back for a supported side plank. And again, still really being supported by the blocks. And take one block. Make sure you keep it there as you take your right hand to the sky. Pick up your right foot in line with your heel and make tiny little circles with that heel. Really keeping mindful that the toes and the heel stay in line with each other. Circles in both directions. And then you're going to begin to sweep that foot behind you. Reach for the ankle or the top of your foot for a quad stretch. And slowly start to take that right foot all the way around to the top of the mat. Try to keep it hovering over that block. And make your way to a low lunge. Might feel nice to rock back and forth here. Just getting into the hips. Pause in your half split for length in the spine. And come into that low lunge. Rock the hips forward. Press into the palms and hug the right knee to the chest. Shift your way up and back to three-legged dog. Downward facing dog as both feet land. And roll forward, high plank. Maybe you lower the knees down for those chaturanga lifts. Maybe you keep them lifted, totally your choice. 2 or 3 rounds. And press the hips up and back for down dog. Left leg high, inhale. Exhale to round and curl. Take a couple of different rounds here. Shifting your gaze. With control, plant the left foot down, lower the right knee, and come into your twist here. Right hand stays down on the block. You might come into the highest height of the block. Left hand sweeps up to the sky. Maybe you take the back knee up. Maybe you keep it down. Try to get longer here. Left bicep up by the ear. Inhale, big sweep. Both hands down. And rock it back. So now you're going to step the left foot all the way to the back for that side plank. Right knee is down. Look down at that heel. Tiny little circles here, really getting into the outer hips, your glute medius with these little circles. Try to keep them steady. Bending into the knee, reach for the quad stretch. Big breath. As you release, try to keep that foot as high as you can as you sweep it all the way to the top of the mat, hovering over the block. And rocking here, half split, low lunge. Pausing anywhere between that feels nice. As you come forward, pick up the back knee, press into the palms, hug your left knee to the chest, round into the upper back, and shift into three-legged dog. Lower the foot. And start to tiptoe your feet all the way to the top of your mat, coming into forward fold. Take your time getting there. Flat back when you do. Bend into the knees, come all the way into your little toe stand. And fold now. Take any bind that would feel nice. Hands can wrap behind the knees. You can grab hold of opposite elbows and sway side to side. Just let the head be heavy. Release the fingertips to the floor. Flat back on your inhale. Get really long here. Knees can be as bent as you like. Hands on blocks, stand tall and hug the right knee in as you extend that foot back. Moving into warrior one here. So the right heel is going to come down at about 45 degrees. Pick up a block along your way. Left knee stays bent, hips are square to the front of your mat. You'll find how wide you would like your feet. Squeeze the block at your chest and then reach it up overhead. Try not to grip the block here. You're really squeezing with the palms. Feel that tension in your shoulders. And then release the block. Take one hand, take the block down behind you, and switch it at the back, reaching it back up overhead. One more round, come back the other way. And start to lower the block down with control. Come up into your L stand, hands on the blocks. Really get long here. You might even take the blocks further out for more stability. Breathe in. And exhale, round. Come to stand. Try not to put that right foot all the way down. And here, you're going to tap your block. So hands can be at your heart. You can use the block for extra balance with your foot. But slowly try to switch the block to the foot to the opposite block. With control, back and forth 5 or so times. Bend into your standing leg and cross that right leg all the way up and over, coming into possibly eagle. Maybe you take more taps and then let the hips sink down. It's okay if you feel a little bit out of balance here. You can add the arms if you like. Right arm comes underneath the left. Sink the hips down and back. Steady your breath. Calm your mind. As you release both feet down, reach the hands up. Exhale, fold to the earth. Inhale, flat back. Hug your left knee in and send it long. Breathe in and exhale, curl. Coming up to stand. Ooh, check your balance. Taking the same little toe taps here. So you're first doing it with your standing leg straight. With control, tapping across and in front. Back and forth. And you can stay with your legs straight, or if you like, get a little bit more sensation by bending into your standing leg. Use your breath here. And then wrap that left leg all the way up and over. If you want to add the arms, the left arm comes underneath the right. Sink the hips down, spread into the upper back, and breathe. Inhale, reach the hands up. Exhale, fold it down. Flat back on your inhale. And exhale, step your feet back, lower the knees. Come into that shoulder stretch that we began with. So bring your elbows or the back of your triceps onto your blocks. Bending at the elbows, hands come back behind your head. Breathe in. And let it go. Right about this time, I am realizing that I forgot to do your warrior one on the other side. So we're just gonna come back up and do it. Taking your time to get there, meeting at the top of your mat and your halfway lift, hands on blocks. Step your left foot to the back, spin the heel down, rising up, bring your block with you. And again, squeeze the block between your palms. Broadness in the upper back and in the chest. Sweep it forward and up overhead. Try to drop the shoulders away from your ears and lower it down. Inhale, take it up. And start with your circles here. Grab a hold of the block in one hand. Take it back behind your hips. Switch your grip. And take it on up overhead. One more time in the opposite direction. Return slowly. Blocks to the earth. Stepping up, folding in. Bring a block behind you and come to sit down on it. So step your feet as wide as the mat, coming into Malasana, your yogi squat. And this can be any style of yogi squat that you like. You can keep the hands together in your heart. You can let them spread wide. Just feel yourself settling here. Long spine. If you would like to play with a little bit of an arm balance here, there's an option that I really love to play with the crow pose. Use your blocks. Take one. You're going to stand on one and you're going to use the other one underneath your forehead. So the lowest height on the one you're going to stand on. And you'll find how far in front of you you need the other one by taking the hands to the earth, knees to the back of your triceps. It's like all the way up near your armpits. And maybe you come down a little bit without even thinking about taking the feet up. Find that you need to take the block a little further forward. And as you shift forward, you still feel very sturdy. You might hug one heel toward your hips, your glutes. And then the other one, maybe after a few rounds of each, you try lifting both at the same time, fully being supported by the block. And then make your way back to your Malasana squat and just center yourself, reground. Begin to place the feet in a cross-legged position. Sit up nice and tall, arms down by your sides. Maybe palms lifted. And slowly breathe in and out through your nose. Scan the body. Notice where there may be tension, where you might feel empowered or even stronger than you thought you were in some places. Notice where you can soften, where you don't have to do all the work. There is enough to go around of ease, of grace, steadiness, and focus. Calmly counting your inhale for maybe a 4 count. Breathing in 4, 3, 2, 1. And exhaling for 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, take the hands up. Exhale, lower thumbs between the eyebrows and then to the heart. Thank yourself for showing up today.